In light of the recent wave of attacks in some parts of the country by the radical sect Boko Haram that has left scores of people dead, Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has asked those affected by the attacks not to seek reprisal. At the town hall meeting organized by the Save Nigeria group in Lagos, Professor Soyinka condemned the attacks and said it was time a national conference was called to discuss the future of the country. Convener of the group, Pastor Soyinka Bakare, also condemned the attacks, describing them as evil.
If they had their way, this event would be taking place at the Gani Fawemi Freedom Park at Ojota in Lagos. But with the military stationed at the park, the group decided to hold the gathering in this hall. For obvious reasons, it is a security situation in the country that elicited the most reactions from most of the speakers, including the Nobel laureate, who made a passionate appeal against any form of reprisals over the Boko Haram attacks.
It takes a lot of courage. It takes a very, very special form of heroism to look at your next door neighbor and say, oh, yes, this is one of them, one way or the other, or it comes from that part of the country. I will take revenge, will exact reprisals on this person. No, please do not do that. You will be playing the game of Boko Haram.
Our nation is not safe today because of this sect or group. Bombs are exploding everywhere, and every right-thinking Nigeria will, should, and must condemn it, because you never can tell where this will end.
Both men also spoke on the issue of corruption and subsidy removal, for which the Save Nigeria group rallied against. While Professor Soyinka hit hard that the National Assembly is corrupt, Pastor Bakare used the opportunity to clarify the position of his group on the issue of subsidy.
The name of the Nigerian corruption can only be that mythological monster that I just created, called the hydropus, a mixture of the hydra and the octopus. Since then, I've tried to find a palpable institution that fits that mythological creation, fantasy, hydropus. And believe me, I eventually found it. It's the Nigerian legislators. That is the hydropus of corruption.
If there's a proper legislation and prior to the implementation of the removal of subsidy, there are safety nets for the poor and the needy amongst us, nobody in his right mind will be against fuel subsidy that is nothing but excess money from excess crude paid to those who live larger than life.
Even though they are no longer holding public rallies, at least for now, the Save Nigeria group and its allies argued that the point has been made that the Nigerian people can no longer remain quiet on any policy they do not consider to be in their interest.
A compact has emerged from the events of last week, which nobody can ever take away. It's a question now building on that citizen compact.
It remains to be seen if that compact the Nobel laureate talks about here can actually be built upon and sustained. Deji Badimasi, Channels Television News.